What if I told you that true strength is invisible, not something you can point to, not something you can measure with numbers or applause or attention? It's not the muscles, not the loud voice, not the confident walk that turns heads. True strength runs deeper than that. It lives beneath the surface, quiet, unseen, often misunderstood. Real strength doesn't show up when life is easy. It doesn't announce itself in moments of comfort. It reveals itself when things fall apart, when plans collapse, when expectations break, when you're exhausted, discouraged, and tempted to quit. That moment when you feel like giving up is where real strength is tested. And here's something most people never realize. Simply getting up again after each fall already requires strength. Even on the days when you feel like you're just surviving, when all you can do is the bare minimum to get through the day. That effort matters. That persistence counts. That is strength. It may not look impressive, but it's real. Most people are taught to look for strength in the wrong places. They think strength means looking fearless, always confident, always in control, never struggling. But that idea is flawed, because real strength isn't about never struggling. It's about how you meet the struggle. It comes from perseverance, from resilience, from the quiet decision to keep moving forward, even when no one's watching. This kind of strength isn't flashy. It doesn't go viral. It doesn't make headlines, but it's the most powerful force you can develop. In today's video, we're exploring 7 signs of inner strength, inspired by Stoic philosophy, ancient wisdom that has endured because it works. Not just ideas, not just inspiration, but practical skills for living well. These signs aren't talents, they're practices, they're habits, they're ways of responding to life. And most importantly, they're learnable. You can practice them, you can develop them, you can strengthen them, one choice at a time, one response at a time. If this speaks to you, subscribe to Stoic Ocean. Stay close. We train the mind here. Together, we're building a community committed to inner growth, clarity, and Stoic wisdom. You might be thinking, I'm not strong. I struggle every day. I make mistakes. I get overwhelmed. But listen carefully. Those struggles, that's the training. Those mistakes, that's the lesson. That overwhelm, that's the forge. Strength isn't built in the absence of difficulty. It's built inside it. Strength isn't about never falling. It's about getting back up again and again and again. When everything inside you says stop, but you choose to continue, that choice is strength. Sign 1, emotional control. Imagine this. You've spent weeks preparing for something important. You've invested time, energy, focus, and then, without warning, something goes wrong. A mistake, a delay, a sudden change. Or maybe someone you trusted criticizes you unfairly, questions your effort, undermines your work. What happens next? For most people, emotion takes over. Anger, frustration, defensiveness, despair. It feels automatic, natural. But reacting emotionally often creates damage that lasts longer than the original problem. Words you wish you could take back, decisions made too fast, relationships strained, opportunities lost. I once worked under a leader who taught me what emotional control really looks like. In high-pressure moments, when others panicked, he stayed calm. When a project hit an unexpected setback, people started blaming circumstances, systems, each other. But he didn't raise his voice. He didn't shut down. He asked questions, clarified facts, focused on solutions, not because he felt nothing, but because he refused to let emotion run the situation. That is emotional control, not suppression, not denial, mastery. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, put it clearly. You have control over your mind, not external events. Understand this, and you'll find strength. Emotional control means directing your energy toward what you can influence and releasing what you cannot. It's the calm center inside chaos. Like a captain in a storm, the waves still exist, the wind still rages, but direction is chosen. Without control, emotions pull us around. With control, they become information, signals, guides. The Stoics never taught to eliminate emotion. They taught to understand it, to work with it. Seneca warned, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom begins inside the mind. The practice starts small. When frustration rises, pause, just for a moment. Breathe. The pause is power. It creates space between stimulus and response. Then ask yourself one question. Is this within my control? If not, release it. If yes, direct your effort toward action, not reaction. At the end of the day, reflect. Where did emotion take over? What triggered it? What could you choose differently next time? This isn't self-criticism, it's training. Perspective matters too. Ask yourself, will this matter in a year? Often what feels overwhelming now will fade with time. Distance shrinks emotion. Clarity restores balance. Emotional control doesn't make you cold. It makes you steady, reliable, clear. You feel deeply, but you choose wisely, not controlled by circumstances, not hijacked by reactions, but grounded. This is strength, not loud, not dramatic, but unshakable. Sign 2, taking responsibility. The weak mind asks, who can I blame? The strong mind asks, what's my part? That single question changes everything. True strength appears when you take responsibility without excuses, without deflection, without denial. Most people, when they make a mistake, look outward. They point fingers, they explain, they justify. But strong people do something rare. They own it, they admit it, they correct it. I learned this the hard way. Years ago, I made a serious mistake at work. It cost time, resources, trust. My first instinct was to explain. The deadline was tight, the system was flawed. Others didn't support me. But then I remembered a lesson from Seneca. Every new beginning comes from an ending. As long as I made excuses, nothing could begin. So I ended the excuses. I went to my manager, admitted the mistake, apologized, and brought a plan to fix it. The result, not punishment, respect, trust. Because responsibility signals strength. Responsibility isn't about never failing. It's about how you respond when you do. Do you hide? Do you blame? Or do you stand, own your part, and move forward? The Stoics believe freedom comes from ownership. When you take responsibility, you stop being a victim of circumstance. You become the author of your life. You cannot control everything that happens, but you can control your response. And that response defines you. Taking responsibility means looking in the mirror and saying, I am here because of my choices. Not because of luck, not because of others, but because of how you responded. This isn't self-punishment, it's empowerment. When you own your choices, you reclaim your power. The practice is simple. Before blaming, look inward. Ask, what was my role? What can I learn? What will I do differently? Every mistake is feedback. Every failure is instruction. If you're willing to learn, strong people don't wait to be saved. They take responsibility for growth, for direction, for progress. That ownership is strength. Sign 3, confronting fear. Fear is universal. Everyone feels it. The difference is not fear itself, it's how you respond to it. Weakness runs from fear, strength walks toward it, not recklessly, but deliberately. Most people see fear as a warning, a signal to stop, to retreat. But strong people see fear as information, a signal that something matters. Marcus Aurelius said, "Pain comes not from the thing, but from your judgment of it." Fear works the same way. When fear controls you, it shrinks your life. When you study it, it teaches you. Courage isn't fearlessness. It's movement despite fear. Think of moments you're proud of. They usually involve fear. Speaking up, taking a risk, having a difficult conversation. Growth lives there. I used to avoid public speaking. The fear was intense. My mind imagined disaster, judgment, failure, embarrassment. So I tested one thing. I didn't eliminate fear. I reduced distance. Small steps. Speaking up once, then again. Each time terrifying. Each time survivable. The fear didn't disappear, but my relationship with it changed. Fear became fuel, energy, presence. This is how strength is built. Define the fear, shrink it, step toward it. The Stoics knew this well. Most fears exist in imagination, rarely in reality, and even when they do, you are stronger than you think. Fear is a compass. It points to growth. Don't run. Approach calmly, intentionally. On the other side of fear is strength. On the other side of fear is strength. On the other side of fear is clarity. On the other side of fear is the person you are becoming. Fear doesn't disappear when you face it, but it loses its power. It stops being a wall and becomes a doorway. Each time you confront fear, you teach yourself something important. You learn that discomfort won't kill you, that uncertainty won't break you, that failure isn't fatal. You learn that you are capable of more than you imagine. The Stoics understood this deeply. They trained themselves to walk toward discomfort, to rehearse difficulty, to prepare the mind for challenge, not to suffer needlessly, but to remove fear's grip. Because when fear no longer controls you, you are free. Free to choose, free to act, free to live deliberately. Most people live cautiously. They shrink their lives to avoid fear. Strong people do the opposite. They expand carefully, intentionally, step by step. They don't rush. They don't force. They expose themselves to fear gradually, consistently, and with each step, confidence grows. Not the loud kind, not the performative kind, but quiet confidence. The confidence that comes from knowing you can handle discomfort, from knowing you won't collapse when things get hard. This is real courage, not bravado, not pretending, but presence in the face of fear. When you confront fear, you stop negotiating with your limitations. You stop asking, what if it goes wrong? And start asking, what if I grow? That shift changes everything. Fear no longer decides the size of your life. You do. And that is strength. And once fear no longer decides for you, your life opens. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but steadily, quietly, reliably. You begin to notice something. The things that once scared you start to feel familiar. Not easy, but manageable. You've been here before. You felt this tension before, and you survived it. That memory becomes strength, because courage is built on evidence. Evidence that you can endure, that you can adapt, that you can respond. Each confrontation with fear adds another layer to your resilience, another reminder that you are not fragile, that discomfort does not define you, that anxiety is not a command, it's just a signal, and signals can be interpreted, not obeyed blindly. Strong people understand this. They don't eliminate fear. They listen to it. They ask, what is this fear protecting? What does it want me to notice? Often fear appears right before growth, right before change, right before expansion. That's why it feels intense. The mind resists what is unfamiliar. The ego resists what threatens its comfort. But growth has never lived inside comfort. It lives just beyond it. This is why the Stoics train their minds daily. They didn't wait for fear to appear. They practiced readiness. They imagined difficulty, not to suffer in advance, but to reduce surprise, because fear thrives on the unexpected. When you rehearse challenge, fear loses its edge. You stop saying, I can't handle this, and then start saying, I've prepared for this. Preparation breeds calm. Calm breeds clarity. Clarity breeds action, and action is the antidote to fear. Fear grows when you stay still. It shrinks when you move. Even a small movement changes the dynamic. A single step forward breaks the illusion that fear is unbeatable. That step tells your nervous system, I am safe enough to act. And safety is not the absence of fear. It's the presence of trust in yourself. Trust that you will respond wisely. Trust that you will recover. Trust that even if things go wrong, you will not abandon yourself. This is where real confidence forms, not from success alone, but from self-trust. The knowledge that no matter what happens, you can meet it. When you live this way, fear no longer shrinks your world. It sharpens it. It points you toward the edges where growth lives. And instead of retreating, you step forward. Calm, aware, intentional. Not because you are fearless, but because you are strong enough to walk with fear without letting it lead. That is confronting fear, not conquering it, not erasing it, but refusing to let it decide who you become. And when fear loses that authority, you gain something rare. Freedom, the freedom to choose your path, to expand your life, to become stronger with every step forward. This is a strength that lasts, quiet, earned, unshakable. And that freedom changes how you move through the world. You stop rushing, you stop hesitating, you act with intention, not because you're certain of the outcome, but because you trust your ability to respond. Fear loses its urgency. It no longer demands immediate retreat. It becomes background noise, present but not commanding. You begin to notice that fear often exaggerates. It tells stories that never happen. It predicts outcomes that never arrive. And once you've faced fear enough times, you recognize the pattern. The mind warns, the body reacts. But reality is quieter than fear suggests. This awareness brings calm. Calm creates space. Space allows choice, and choice is where strength lives. Strong people don't wait until fear disappears. They move while it's present. They don't ask for certainty. They ask for direction. They don't need guarantees. They need alignment. Alignment with values, with purpose, with who they're becoming. Fear cannot survive in a mind that knows its direction. It may appear, it may speak, but it no longer decides. And when fear no longer decides, your actions become cleaner. You speak when needed. You step forward when it matters. You hold steady when others retreat, not out of recklessness, but out of clarity. This is the quiet power of confronting fear. It doesn't make you louder, it makes you steadier. It doesn't harden you, it refines you. Each time you choose to act anyway, you reinforce a simple truth. You are capable of discomfort, capable of uncertainty, capable of growth, and that knowledge stays with you. Long after the fear fades, it becomes part of who you are, a strength you can rely on, a calm you can return to, a foundation that doesn't crack under pressure. This is not dramatic strength. It doesn't seek attention, but it endures. And that endurance is what carries you forward. And when something matters, it is worth facing. Fear often marks the edge of growth. It appears where comfort ends and expansion begins. So the practice is simple. Make a list of the things that scare you. Big fears, small fears, the obvious ones, and the quiet ones you avoid naming. Then choose one, not the biggest, not the most dramatic, the smallest, the one you can face without overwhelming yourself, and take one action toward it, not to conquer it, not to eliminate it, just to move closer. Then pause. Notice what happens. Your heart may race, your mind may resist, but you will still be standing. Then pick another and another. Each small step builds evidence. Evidence that you can act while afraid. Each confrontation strengthens your nervous system. You begin to trust yourself until one day you look back and realize something important. You are not the same person. You are calmer, more capable, more grounded. Not because fear vanished, but because you learned to walk with it. You prove to yourself that fear does not decide what you do. The courage is not the absence of fear. It is action in its presence. That is true strength. Sign 4, embracing solitude. There is a quiet strength in being comfortable with solitude. In a world constantly pulling at your attention, choosing to be alone is an act of discipline, and discipline is strength. Most people fear solitude. They fill every moment with noise, with conversation, with screens, with distraction, not because they enjoy it, but because silence feels uncomfortable. Silence removes distraction, and distraction is often what protects us from ourselves. Strong people embrace solitude, not as punishment, but as practice. Epictetus taught that solitude trains you to be content with what you have. When you are alone, external influence fades. The opinions of others soften. Expectations loosen. Comparison disappears. What remains is you. Not the version you perform, not the version you defend, but the version that exists underneath. Solitude is where you meet yourself without interruption. It is where you notice your impulses, your fears, your desires. In solitude, you begin to hear your own thoughts clearly, not the thoughts you borrowed, not the thoughts you repeat automatically, but your own. This is where strength is cultivated, not in crowds, but in quiet, not in reaction, but in reflection. Solitude is not loneliness. Loneliness is being alone and feeling incomplete. Solitude is choosing to be alone and feeling whole. It is turning inward to build stability. Think about it. When was the last time you spent real time alone? No phone, no music, no background noise, just stillness. For many people, that feels unbearable. Restlessness appears, anxiety rises, the urge to escape intensifies. But that discomfort is information. It shows you where your mind is unsettled. Strong people do not flee from this. They sit with it. They allow thoughts to surface. They observe patterns. They notice what keeps returning. Solitude becomes a mirror. It shows you what you value, what you avoid, what you fear losing. This self-knowledge is the foundation of inner strength. You cannot stand firm if you do not know where you stand. You cannot make clear decisions if you do not know what matters to you. Solitude gives you clarity. The practice is gradual. Start small. 10 minutes a day. No devices, no distractions. Just stillness. Over time, increase the duration. Use the time intentionally. You may journal, not to write perfectly, but to empty your mind. You may meditate, not to escape thoughts, but to observe them. You may walk slowly, without stimulation. The form matters less than the consistency. Solitude is not about isolation. It is about integration. Integrating your thoughts, your values, your intentions. When you can be alone without discomfort, you become unshakable because your stability no longer depends on approval. You carry your center with you. That is strength. Sign 5. Staying positive in adversity. Strong people do not deny difficulty. They do not pretend pain does not exist. They choose where to place their attention. Adversity is inevitable. Loss, failure, disappointment. But how you interpret adversity determines whether it breaks you or builds you. Seneca wrote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a person perfected without trials." Adversity is friction. It reveals weaknesses, but it also refines character. Positivity in hardship is not optimism. It is perspective. It is choosing to ask better questions. When something goes wrong, you can ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Or you can ask, "What is this teaching me?" One question drains you, the other strengthens you. Gratitude becomes essential in difficult moments, not because everything is good, but because something still is. You may lose a job, but gain clarity. You may lose a relationship, but gain self-respect. You may face illness, but discover resilience. This does not erase pain. It places it in a larger context. The practice is simple. When adversity appears, pause. Ask 3 questions. What can I learn? What can I control? What remains worth appreciating? These questions shift your position from helpless to engaged, from reactive to intentional. Growth does not require that you enjoy adversity. It requires that you use it. Every challenge contains instruction. Every setback reveals priorities. Every hardship strengthens perspective. Adversity is temporary, but the growth it produces lasts. When you respond this way, you stop fearing difficulty. You begin to see it as training, and training builds strength. Sign 6. Setting boundaries. True strength includes the ability to protect your energy. Boundaries are not rejection. They are self-respect. Epictetus advised, "First know yourself, then live accordingly." Boundaries begin with self-awareness. You must know what drains you, what nourishes you, what you can give. Without boundaries, your energy leaks. You say yes when you should say no. You give time when you are depleted. Over time, this weakens you. Strong people guard their limits. They understand that saying no to what drains them allows them to say yes to what matters. Boundaries are gates. They allow alignment. They prevent erosion. Setting them is uncomfortable. It may disappoint others, but discomfort is temporary. Loss of self-respect lasts longer. The practice requires clarity. Identify where you feel resentful. Resentment reveals where boundaries are missing. Then communicate calmly, not aggressively, not defensively, simply honestly. "I can't do that. I need time. I'm not available." These statements protect your peace. Boundaries teach others how to treat you. More importantly, they teach you what you value. What you protect reveals who you are. And when your life aligns with your values, strength follows naturally. You move with less resistance, with less regret, with more intention. That is the quiet power of boundaries. Not control over others, control over yourself. And that control is strength. And when you live this way, your days feel different. Not easier, but clearer. You stop leaking energy into places that give nothing back. You stop negotiating with your own limits. You begin to act from intention, not obligation. Boundaries create space, space to think, space to rest, space to respond instead of react. And in that space, strength compounds. You become more present in the moments that matter because you are not exhausted from everywhere else. You start to notice how much peace comes from alignment. When your actions match your values, when your time reflects your priorities, when your energy is invested where it belongs. This alignment removes inner conflict, and inner conflict is one of the greatest drains of strength. Strong people understand that saying no is not an act of withdrawal. It is an act of preservation. Preservation of clarity, preservation of focus, preservation of self-respect. Over time, people around you adjust. Some respect your boundaries, some resist them, and that information is valuable. It shows you who respects your limits and who benefits from their absence. You learn where to invest yourself and where to step back. This discernment is not coldness. It is wisdom. It allows you to give fully without being depleted, to support others without abandoning yourself. This balance is rare, and it is powerful. When your boundaries are clear, your mind is quieter. You waste less time explaining yourself. You feel less resentment. You move through life with steadiness because you know where you end and where others begin. This clarity strengthens every other practice. Emotional control becomes easier. Responsibility feels natural. Fear loses leverage. Strength integrates, not as effort, but as identity. You are no longer trying to be strong. You are simply living in a way that supports strength, and that support shows up everywhere. In your decisions, in your relationships, in your ability to stay grounded when life becomes difficult. This is not isolation. It is integration. Integration of who you are with how you live. And when those two align, strength stops feeling forced. It becomes stable, reliable, quiet, the kind of strength that does not seek attention, but endures. And that endurance changes the way you face the future. You no longer brace yourself for every challenge as if it might break you. You've seen yourself endure. You've watched yourself recover. That memory becomes confidence, not loud confidence, not borrowed confidence, earned confidence, the kind that comes from knowing you can adapt. You stop asking life to be easier. You ask yourself to be steadier, because steadiness outlasts circumstance. Strong people do not rely on motivation. Motivation fades. They rely on structure, on habits, on principles. Boundaries are part of that structure. They quietly support you when emotions fluctuate. They hold you steady when pressure rises, and pressure will rise. Life will demand more of you. People will ask for more. Circumstances will test you. But when your boundaries are clear, you don't collapse. You respond. You choose deliberately what deserves your energy and what does not. This selectiveness is not selfishness. It is stewardship. Stewardship of your time, stewardship of your attention, stewardship of your inner life. Strong people understand that energy is finite. Once it is spent, it cannot be reclaimed. So they invest it wisely. They invest it in growth, in relationships that reciprocate, in work that aligns. They withdraw it from chaos, from resentment, from endless obligation. This discipline creates freedom. Freedom from constant reaction, freedom from burnout, freedom from self-betrayal. And self-betrayal is one of the quietest forms of weakness. Each time you ignore your limits, you weaken trust with yourself. Each time you honor them, that trust is restored. Over time, self-trust compounds. You stop second-guessing every decision. You feel less internal friction. Your yes becomes stronger because it is chosen. Your no becomes calmer because it is justified. And people sense this. They feel the clarity in your presence. They know where you stand, not because you explain yourself, but because your actions are consistent. Consistency is strength made visible, not through dominance, but through reliability. You become someone others can depend on, because you depend on yourself. This is how inner strength shows up externally, not in performance, not in display, but in steadiness, in calm decisions, in measured responses, in values that do not bend under pressure. When your inner world is ordered, your outer world begins to reflect it. Problems still exist, challenges still arise, but they no longer feel overwhelming. They feel workable. You approach them one step at a time, one choice at a time, and each choice reinforces the same truth. You are capable, you are grounded, you are strong, not because life is easy, but because you've built a way of living that can hold difficulty. That is the kind of strength that lasts, not explosive, not dramatic, but deeply rooted. And once rooted, it is very hard to uproot. And from that rooted strength, a quiet confidence grows. You stop chasing certainty. You stop demanding guarantees. You accept that life will remain uncertain. And instead of resisting that truth, you prepare yourself to meet it. Preparation replaces fear. Not preparation for every outcome, but preparation of character. The kind of preparation that says, whatever comes, I will respond with clarity. This is the Stoic way, not control of events, but control of response. You begin to measure success differently, not by how little you struggle, but by how well you endure, not by how often you win, but by how rarely you abandon yourself. That shift changes everything. You stop feeling behind. You stop feeling inadequate because you are no longer competing with appearances. You are aligned with principles, and principles do not rush. They do not panic. They do not compare. They guide. Strong people move slower than the world expects. They pause before reacting. They reflect before deciding. And that slowness is not weakness. It is precision. It allows them to see clearly when others are overwhelmed, to choose wisely when others are pressured. This clarity compounds. Over time, you become less reactive to praise and less shaken by criticism, because neither defines you. Your direction comes from within. Your worth is not negotiated daily. This inner stability becomes visible in your posture, in your tone, in your presence. People feel it before you speak. They sense that you are not easily moved, not because you are rigid, but because you are anchored. Anchored in values, anchored in self-knowledge, anchored in practice. This anchoring allows flexibility. You can adapt without losing yourself. You can change without breaking. This is resilience, not stubborn endurance, but intelligent adjustment, the ability to bend without shattering. And that ability comes from repetition, from daily choices to act with intention, to pause, to reflect, to choose again. Strength is not built in a single moment. It is built through consistency, through returning to what matters, again and again. When life challenges you, you no longer ask, why is this happening? You ask, how will I meet this? That question keeps you upright. It keeps you engaged. It reminds you that no moment is wasted when it shapes character. And character is the only thing that truly endures. Everything else can be taken: status, comfort, control. But the strength you build inside travels with you, into every season, into every difficulty, into every change. It becomes your constant, your reference point, your ground. And once you stand on that ground, life no longer feels like something that happens to you. It feels like something you participate in, deliberately, consciously, with resolve. That is the quiet victory of inner strength. Not domination, not escape, but presence. And presence cultivated over time is unshakable. More energy, more presence, more love to the people and things that truly matter. This is how you build sustainable strength, not by giving everything away, but by protecting what you need, so you can give what you choose. And that is true strength. Sign 7. Lifting others up. True strength isn't only about overcoming your own challenges. It's about what you do with the strength you built. Because strength that stays trapped inside you becomes pride. But strength that flows outward becomes purpose. Strong people don't compete to prove they're superior. They collaborate to make the whole room stronger. They understand something most people forget. Life is not a solo sport. Even the strongest mind was shaped by someone else's support. A teacher, a friend, a mentor, a stranger at the right moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What doesn't benefit the bee doesn't benefit the hive." It's a simple image. A hive survives because each bee contributes, not by dominating, not by taking, but by serving the whole. In Stoicism, strength is not only endurance, it is virtue. And virtue is never selfish. It is expressed through action, through character, through how you treat people when you have power, through what you do when you have more than enough. Think about the people who've had the biggest impact on your life. They weren't always the most talented. They weren't always the loudest. They weren't the ones trying to look important. They were the ones who helped you breathe when you felt overwhelmed. The ones who reminded you you were capable. The ones who saw potential in you before you saw it in yourself. That is strength. Not using power to dominate, but using strength to empower. Not building yourself up by tearing others down, but building others up while staying grounded in your own values. Helping others doesn't diminish your light. It clarifies it, because real confidence doesn't need comparison. It doesn't need someone else to be smaller for you to feel big. Strong people understand that someone else's win is not your loss, that success is not a fixed supply, that a thriving environment creates more opportunities, not fewer. But here is the Stoic nuance. Lifting others up does not mean abandoning yourself. It does not mean saying yes to everyone. It does not mean carrying burdens that are not yours. This is where true wisdom appears. Strong people are generous, but not careless. They have boundaries and still have compassion. They protect their peace and still offer their hand. Because their strength is stable, and stability allows generosity. When you are constantly depleted, you become bitter. When you have no boundaries, help turns into resentment. Stoicism never asks you to destroy yourself for others. It asks you to act with virtue, to help when it is wise, to give when you are able, to support without surrendering your self-respect. This is how help becomes powerful. Not emotional, not impulsive, but intentional. So what does it look like to lift others up? Sometimes it is mentorship, a simple message to someone younger, a few minutes of guidance that saves them months of confusion. Sometimes it is leadership, not command, not control, but clarity. Setting direction when others feel lost, staying calm when others panic. Sometimes it is support, being present for a friend in a difficult season, not fixing them, just listening, without judgment, without performance. Sometimes it is courage, speaking up when someone is being dismissed, giving credit where it is due, protecting someone's dignity when it would be easier to stay silent. Sometimes it is service, volunteering, helping your community, not for praise, but because you recognize we are connected. And sometimes it is small, a sincere compliment, a quiet encouragement, a reminder that someone's effort matters. You never know what a single sentence can do to a person who is close to quitting. Strong people don't hoard strength, they circulate it, because strength is not like money. It grows when it is used. It multiplies when it is shared, not in a magical way, in a human way. When you help someone rise, you become a person who helps people rise, and that identity changes you. It refines you. It makes you less selfish, less fragile, less dependent on attention. It gives you purpose, and purpose is one of the strongest fuels a person can have. This is why the strongest people are often the most generous. They share their knowledge. They offer support. They celebrate others without jealousy. They don't fear other people's brilliance because they are not living from insecurity. They are living from principle. They understand there is room for everyone to grow, room for everyone to improve, room for everyone to contribute. And they choose to become the kind of person who adds to the room, not the kind of person who drains it. The practice is this. Look for one opportunity each day to lift someone, not with grand gestures, with clean intention. Ask yourself, who around me is carrying a heavy load? Who is quietly struggling? Who is trying and not being seen? Then choose one action, one message, one check-in, one encouragement, one practical help, and do it without expecting applause. This is important. If you help to be admired, you become dependent on others again. But if you help because it is right, you strengthen your character. And character is the core of Stoic strength. But keep your boundaries. Help without resentment. Give what you can, not what destroys you. Remember, virtue includes wisdom. Wisdom knows when to step in and when to step back. Wisdom knows that helping does not mean carrying someone's life for them. Sometimes lifting someone up is not solving their problem. It is reminding them they can solve it. It is helping them see they have strength too. Because the highest form of lifting others up is making them stronger, not making them dependent. And when you do this, you create something rare, a culture of strength, a community where growth is shared, where people support each other, where success is respected, where character is valued. This is what Marcus meant by the hive. Your strength is not only for you, it is a resource, a light, a stabilizing presence. And when you share it wisely, it does not shrink, it expands. Because strength grows when it becomes service. That is the paradox of true strength. The more you use it for virtue, the more you have. The more you lift others, the higher you rise. Not in status, not in ego, but in character. So look around you. Who can you lift today? Who can you encourage? Who can you support with one honest action? Reach out, offer your hand, share your steadiness. Because when you do, you don't only help them, you strengthen yourself. You strengthen the whole room. You strengthen the hive. And that is one of the highest signs of inner strength. Now let's bring it all together. True strength isn't innate. It is cultivated every day through practice, through intention, through choice. We've explored 7 signs of inner strength: emotional control, taking responsibility, confronting fear, embracing solitude, staying positive in adversity, setting boundaries, and lifting others up. These are not merely qualities, they are disciplines. They are ways of meeting life, and each one is a decision, a daily decision to respond wisely instead of reacting impulsively, to take ownership instead of making excuses, to face fear instead of running from it, to seek silence instead of drowning in noise, to find opportunity inside challenge instead of collapsing into despair, to protect your energy instead of leaking it everywhere, to uplift others instead of competing from insecurity. These choices, repeated consistently, create true strength, not the kind you show off, the kind that shows up when it matters most. Stoic philosophy reminds us that the power to grow is within reach, not after life becomes perfect, not after conditions improve. Now, right where you are, with what you have, in this moment, because every moment offers a fork in the road. React impulsively or respond deliberately. Blame circumstances or take responsibility. Run from fear or confront it. Fill every silence or embrace solitude. Focus on what's broken or search for what can be built. Give everything away or set boundaries. Compete to look superior or collaborate to strengthen the whole. The choice is yours. Every day, every hour, every interaction. And remember, strength is rarely built in one grand gesture. It is built in small decisions made consistently. So start simple. Pick one sign. Practice it today, then tomorrow, then again, until it becomes part of you. Until strength isn't something you perform, it's who you are. If this video helped you recognize your inner strength, subscribe to Stoic Ocean. We're here to train the mind, build resilience, and live with clarity. Share your story in the comments. Which of these 7 signs resonates most with you? What are you practicing right now? And if you're ready to cultivate true strength, tap the like button, not for the algorithm alone, but as a commitment to yourself, a small signal that you are choosing to grow. Thank you for watching, and remember this. True strength is not about never falling down. It is about getting back up with wisdom, with calm, with intention. Keep going, keep practicing, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video.